Welcome to another dramatic storytelling with Duke Dread, featuring the absolutely stunning Duke Dread. That's me. Tonight, I will tell you a tale that I heard growing up in the wilderness, versions of which have been around for hundreds, if not thousands of years. This tale belongs to a family of stories known as the Golden Arm. However, the version that I am telling you tonight is much different from its common ancestor with other stories. Tonight I tell you the Tailypo. Now, once upon a time there was an old man who lived in a holler all by himself. Now, for those of you that are more urban listeners, a holler is a small valley between the mountains. And he lived in a holler all by himself in this rickety old cold cabin. Now, one night he was walking home from hunting. And well, he didn't find any food, he didn't find any game, he couldn't find nothing. So he's walking home from hunting, and he sees laying across the road the biggest, juiciest, plumpest, fuzziest tail he's ever seen. But he doesn't see what it's attached to. No, he just sees this giant tail. And you know that certain bushy, fuzzy, plump tails fried in a skillet are quite yummy. So he sees this and he goes, you know what? I am going to grab whatever has that tail and I'm going to skin it and kill it and cook it. So he takes out his knife and chops the tail off. And the thing goes, yow! And runs as fast as it can away into the underbrush. Now, the old man's a little disappointed, but at least, hey, he got this big, plump, juicy tail. So he goes home to the holler all by himself in the middle of the night and fries that tail up in the skillet. And boy, is that tail yummy. In fact, he eats every bite of it, leaving nothing behind but the bones, which he throws out the back door. Now, the old man with the full stomach is ready to go to sleep. And so he gets his quilt ready and lays down in the bed and pulls the quilt over him. And he hears, from coming far down the road at the end of the holler, "Tailypo, Tailypo, who's got my Tailypo?" And he's like, that's awful strange. And he's mighty afeared, so he grabs his rifle and goes to the door and looks out and sees nothing. But just in case, he fires a shot from where he thinks he heard it from. And then he walks back in. It's like, that got rid of the varmint. Now I'm going to go back to sleep. So he goes back to sleep, and he sleeps peacefully for a little bit. And then he wakes up, and he hears something rustling a few feet away from the cabin. "Tailypo, Tailypo, who's got my Tailypo?" And he starts to hear something scratch on the door of the cabin. Now, he's afeared, but he grabs his rifle and he opens the door and he fires a shot, and whatever it is runs away. And he's like, you know what? That got that varmint. Now I can finally go to rest. So he leans back down and lays back down in the bed, and he's sleeping peacefully. And then he starts to hear something scratching at the foot of his bed. And he hears, "Tailypo, Tailypo, you've got my Tailypo." And that old man and that cabin were never seen again. The end. Thank you for joining us for that dramatic reading with the beautiful, fabulous, wonderful Duke Dread. That's me. And I hope you really enjoyed that story. And if you did, please click like and subscribe and turn on those notifications, because every week I'm going to try to read chew spooky, terrifying, weird, bizarre, gruesome, old stories aloud. And I hope you don't miss them. Bye.